Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about storage. Whether your family is getting bigger or your wife is learning how to coupon, kids that are mountain biking, volleyball, trying out cross-country skiing, downhill skiing, snowboarding, hiking, decoration, tools. Storage is something that's really hard to manage and be able to find stuff when you actually need it. Today I want to show you my garage storage system. I've been looking all over the internet for years and years for good storage systems, and I always feel like everything's overbuilt. And so I actually have a storage system here that is pretty inexpensive and as minimal as I could possibly make it. Storage got really expensive when we were younger. Christine got this really great idea to start couponing, and she got all this like couponing haul stuff from CVS and Walgreens. She ended up buying the strongest storage shelf system she could find. Let me see if I can go back and show you all of the things that I used to have to store. We went to Costco or Sam's Club and we found like this really nice stainless steel on caster kind of thing, and it was like $150 a shelf, and we bought 2 of them just to store all this stuff she was buying from CVS and Walgreens and whatnot. As our family grew, that kind of storage shelf system wasn't realistic. I couldn't keep buying $150 shelves all the time. And so I want to show you my storage shelf system that's actually pretty inexpensive. I was able to build this entire wall of shelves that's almost about 16 feet long for about $150. And so I think it's much more cost effective than what we would have done if we were actually buying shelves ourselves from like a big box store. To build a storage shelf system like this really doesn't take much more than a level, a stud finder, a drill, and maybe a chop saw or a skill saw. Honestly, a little handsaw, coping saw might even be enough. It's pretty darn simple to put together. You may need a couple other hands to help you kind of assemble it all, but let me walk you through and show you how minimalistic and easy it is to build a storage shelf system kind of like this. And then I'm gonna show you some of the variations I have as far as workbench and other variations in the garage. It's not perfect, it's definitely a mess. I'm still working on how to like organize my stuff in it, but at least I've gotten started. All right, here are the basics with this storage shelf system. For this particular project, all you need are 1x2 lumber, 1x2 by 8 feet long, and then the shelf is made out of MDF, 16 inches deep, 8-foot boards. And that's it. That's the whole thing. These 1x2 boards all run about $1.20, maybe $1.10 a piece. I have 16 of them for a 16-foot shelf, and I have 10 of the MDF shelving boards. Okay, I started by marking all of the studs along the wall, and I figured out what height I wanted to have all of my shelves at, and I started with a 1x2 board as a cleat against the wall, drilled into all of the studs. Since this wall is so long, I have 2 8-inch boards, one here and one here, to make the entire cleat for the full length of the wall. Once I had my cleats attached to all of the spots where the shelves were gonna go, I needed to start my brace pieces. I used a 1x2 as the main brace piece for each shelf. I have these spaced out about every 3 feet. But what I needed to do was get a cleat, another cleat on this side. And so what I did is I took these, built all of these brace pieces and cleats before I put anything else together. And I just measured them and just matched them up to the height of the cleats on the wall. So I wanted to make sure I had cleats on the wall and cleats on the braces all about the same height. And I have them all spaced and built. And so really all I did was take these 1x2s and I cut a few more. They're about 3-inch sections to make my cleats out of here. And then I just screwed them in and got ready so that I could assemble the whole thing. With all of the cleats on the wall and all of the brace pieces with their cleats all assembled, I was ready to put this thing together. And so what I had to do is get my MDF boards and have somebody kind of help me hold them in place. And I just set them on top and kind of assembled it all together. And I put extra screws in the ends here of each shelf, and I put screws on the tops of the shelves, right, wherever I needed to get them all assembled and held in tight in place. The vertical strength of the 1x2 is where its main strength is. These shelves actually hold a lot of weight. I have no problem jumping around and climbing up on them. It's just a pretty durable shelf. Now I will say the shelves, the brace pieces themselves are not attached to the floor. So these legs can be kicked around a little bit. So that might be a little spot where it's a little bit weaker, but I could brace that against the wall again if I wanted to. I just wanted to leave that bottom space open so that it was really easy to get more storage underneath. Now the workbench is a very similar idea. The only difference is the bottom brace pieces down here are actually 2x2s instead of 1x2s. I wanted a little extra capacity there, and there is extra brace pieces of 1x2 underneath here, running the distance of the storage bench. But then back up here on top, I'm back to 1x2s again. These 1x2s are anchored to the top of the workbench and have an extra cleat or brace piece that goes against the wall so it doesn't move front to back, it can't get bumped and the whole shelf fall down on me. If there's anything I don't quite like about this that I do need to reinforce, it's the bottom legs. The bottom legs are freestanding. They can get kicked back and forth. If the car was to come and pull all the way in and bump those legs, this shelf probably would fall down on me, but so far it hasn't been a problem. I do need a whole new set of organization up here. I'm not happy with the pegboard, and I just don't have the tool storage or even the self-discipline to get it organized the way I should. This whole wall of shelves also only cost me about $100. The most expensive piece being obviously that this workbench here is about 24 inches deep this time. So this piece of MDF shelving is about 24 inches by about 10 to 12 feet. All right, this is our final wall of shelves. This is built very similarly to the workbench, running the 16 feet up and down next to the garage here. It has 2x2s at the bottom as the base. The 2x2s are braced with one piece of 1x2 and then another piece of 1x2 sitting right directly below the MDF. This MDF board is 24 inches deep, maybe 23 inches deep. Then we've got shelves built on top, and this goes back to our shelving scheme that we've used throughout the garage. These are just 1x2s, again, cleated against the wall, cleated underneath the brace pieces. It goes almost all the way to the ceiling. That top shelf there is sitting about 8 feet high. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe so you can check out other videos that I have, and maybe you'll see me make improvements to this garage. There you have it. This is not by any means a perfect solution to a garage storage system, but it's my solution for now. And I'll probably be making improvements to it over the next few months and years. And so hang around and I'll be able to share some of those with you as they come. If you've got other ideas on how I can make this better, please share those in the comments. I would love it. I might even try them in a future video. So please share what you can. Thanks for joining me today. We'll see you in the next video.